Hi everyone, welcome to Science Today. Today we are doing the science experiment, egg with salt. So it's a rather easy science experiment. It's not going to take very long, and I'm pretty sure you probably have all of these ingredients at home. So maybe you watch this first, and then maybe try it on your own, or do it with me. So maybe if you have all this stuff, you can do the steps with me. So let's get started. First, I did send the science experiment overview, and it just tells you what to do with the science experiment while we're following the scientific method that we adapted for you guys. So make sure you read that. The next thing I sent was the science experiment itself. It just tells what you need, the instructions, and what we're looking for at the end of the experiment. And the last one is the scientific method. And I broke down the steps of it for you. So first we do observe, wonder, ask questions, discuss the materials needed for the experiment, predict, plan and predict what is going to happen, experiment or explore, experiment, touch, look, feel, listen, and taste, and check, review, and make reflections. So those are all the things that that you should have received, and let's do it. Let's do the experiment itself. So first thing we have to do is we have to follow the first step of the scientific method, which is observe. Wonder, ask questions, discuss the materials needed for the experiment. What do we need? First, we need water. Water. We need water. And I got it. I got some water. Hopefully, I'm not going to make a mess today because I forgot my paper towels. So, and we all know when Miss Mary uses water, she should always be prepared with paper towels because I always make a mess. The next thing we need is an egg, and I put it in the cup. We needed an egg. Just one. The next thing we need is a tall glass, which I brought down. And the last thing we need is salt, which is in here. All right, so those are the 4 things that we need for the science experiment. Next step, since we are done with the first step, the next step is predict. And it's what will it do? So we need to plan and predict what is going to happen. So what do you think is going to happen in our science experiment when we're using these 4 things? What do you think is going to happen? I'm going to put water into the glass with some salt and put the egg in. Do you think, what do you think is going to happen with the egg? Do you think nothing's going to happen? Or do you think the egg will float? We'll see. So plan right now. Pause this if you need to and pick whichever one you think is going to happen, okay? So do you think the egg's going to float, or do you think nothing's going to happen? Do it right now. And then, since we're done with the second step, predict, now it's time to explore the third step of the scientific method. Experiment, touch, look, feel, listen, and taste. Look, listen, taste, feel, and smell. You can do all of these. Everything is safe to taste, but don't taste the egg because it's not good to taste eggs because they can contain salmonella and you can get sick from that. So maybe just don't taste the egg. You can taste the salt in the water, but don't taste the egg. Okay? All right, let's start the experiment. Everyone make sure you have the experiment paper right in front of you so we can follow the directions of what it's telling us to do. All right, so it says everything we need: the 1 egg, the water, the salt, and the tall drinking glass. I also brought a knife because it's easier to stir, because I think I'm going to have to stir. So first it says that we need to pour water into the glass until it's about half full. So let me move that over until it's half full. Okay, that looks about half full. So then it says stir in lots of salt, about 6 tablespoons. That's a lot of salt. Okay. I think that's good. I'm gonna stir it with my knife. A lot of salt. Alright, I'm like, should I put more in? Yeah. What's the harm in it? I'll put a little more salt in. Okay, I think that should be okay now. Now it's really salty water. Ugh. You can taste it, but I'm good. Have you guys ever went to the ocean? If you've gone to the ocean and you've been in it and you accidentally tasted it, it's not the nicest taste. I wouldn't recommend it. I know there's some people that have saltwater pools. So if you ever were in a pool with salt water, it's the same thing. And it's not yummy to taste. All right, so we did that. Now it says carefully pour in plain water until the glass is nearly full. Be careful to not disturb or mix the salty water with the plain water. Okay, so here we go. I don't know how well this is gonna go. I feel like, I don't know. See if it works. If it doesn't work, well, we'll see. Okay, now it says gently lower the egg into the water and watch what happens. Here we go. My luck, yep, I knew it. Okay. Okay, so we can see what happened. The egg did not sink. In regular water, an egg will sink to the bottom of the glass. If it's a good egg. If the egg is bad, it's not going to sink all the way to the bottom. But if the egg is good, which is this one is, it would sink to the bottom of the glass. But because we have salt water, it floats. So salt water is denser than regular water, which means the denser the water, the more likely your item is going to float. So yeah. Well, I guess we can. What the experiment was supposed to do. You know what? Hold on. Let's do the last step of the scientific method first, and then I'll tell you what it was supposed to do. The last step is check, review, and make reflections. What did it do? Did the egg float, or did nothing happen? The egg did float, didn't it? Yep. So the egg did float. So the experiment was supposed to be where you had half of the glass of salt water and the other half was tap water. But obviously it didn't work for me. It obviously mixed in with the salt water. But what was supposed to happen was you're supposed to have half salt, half tap. And because the salt water is denser than the tap water and it's at the bottom, it would have made the egg float. But because the top half was going to be tap water, it would have made it sink. So the egg was supposed to float in the middle of the glass because the tap water is going to make it sink. That one makes it float. So it was supposed to just float in the middle. But that didn't work. But you know what? It's okay. We still understood that this is probably a better example of the salt water being denser than tap water because it did make it float all the way up. So that was the experiment. I hope you guys have better luck than I do. I might have to try this a couple more times to perfect it and see what I can do to make it do the half and half. But, oh well, we still got the point across and it's fine. It's okay. That's what happens in science experiments. Sometimes it doesn't work the way we want to, but that's okay. We learn from it and we try to make it right the next time. So that is it for me for today. I already uploaded Miss Sam's story time today, and I hope you enjoy it. She's reading Llama Llama Red Pajama, And I hope you enjoyed this experiment, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye. Have a nice night.